right.
I'm going to unmute it now.
Where's the film?
Tess is going to activate somebody in a second.
Was she?
She's doing it from her office.
Gotcha.
Hey, Kyle, can you hear me?
Yep. What's up, Cam?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Well, good. First impressions of seeing your quarterback side by side, I guess today was kind of a different look, having them on adjoining fields. Were you able to kind of rotate back and forth to see how they were doing, and what did you think?
It was the first time yesterday for us. Just having 5 guys out there was kind of unusual for me. I don't think I've had 5 before, but it was cool to get them all. We only got 2 of them reps these last 2 days. Our OTAs are a little modified this year just with rep counts, only being around these guys for 1 week instead of the 5 weeks that I'm normally used to. I just didn't know if we were in as good of a football shape. So we've taken off a lot of reps for this week. So only 2 guys have been going, but when we put in more next week, the other guy should get some ops.
I was going to ask about that. How do you accommodate 5 guys? It seems like getting reps for 4 guys is sometimes tough in a training camp, a mini camp. And, having said that, do you think you'll have to winnow down that list to 4 at some point this spring?
I would never say never, but, there's, as far as reps, we take it week to week, I like to see where our players are, the whole team. To know how many plays I think we could run, and then my next thought goes to how many plays I think the quarterback should have. So right now we don't have enough team reps for anybody more than 2 to get it. I expect that to change the next week. When you have 5 guys, I think they'll all get some reps throughout OTAs. With that 4 and 5th guy, 3, 4, and 5 not being that consistent. It's going to depend on the day, really, but I don't think that's always the case. I've had some young guys come in who don't get a rep, and then they get there in training camp. I know it's frustrating for the guys because you always want the opportunity, but they've been handling it right. They've been in there a lot. You don't always get it with the team, but they get it with the wideouts on the side and stuff, and they don't always need to be in the drills or in the competitive periods to impress us. We're drilling the heck out of them right now and getting an idea of what we're working with.
Hey, Kyle, we didn't see Nick Bosa out there. Can you kind of give us the rundown on where he is both physically and where he is actually in the United States?
Yeah, Nick's in Florida. I've been talking to Nick since February on this. He came out in February for a while to get checked up on his knee and stuff, and with him coming off the ACL and everything, it's going great. I'm sure you guys have seen some videos, but he's got a good setup out there with his brother and the guy who works with his knee. They're in contact with our guys all the time, and just didn't want to take him off his routine right now, and I totally agree with him out there. He's going to show up at some time during this, but he won't be going out there doing anything coming off the ACL, but we fully expect him to be ready for training camp.
Kyle, obviously you guys got a lot of business done this offseason. It seems like the next big thing would be Fred Warner. How much of a priority is it to get that done? Do you expect that to be something that you aim to get done before training camp starts?
I wouldn't say I put like an exact thing on when I want to get it done personally. I kind of feel I'd say the same about him as I did about Kittle when we were talking about it. I just see that kind of as a matter of time. I know he's not going into his free agent year or anything like that, so that's why it's not always on my mind. But Fred's a guy that I plan on being here forever, and who has earned that. And I'd be surprised if that doesn't start sooner than later.
Kyle, what have been your biggest impressions of both quarterbacks so far, how they've adapted to the offseason and coming back into getting into reps?
It's really been, it's been great just watching the whole group hang together. Just like those last questions, it's tough when there's only one position and there's 5 guys and they're all so eager to get reps and we don't have a lot of reps going through. So just what all 5 of those guys have been doing, hanging out with each other every day in the meeting rooms, on the field. That's what I've been impressed with the most so far. In these 2 practices, I think both guys have done a good job, but I mean, we had 12 plays of 7-on-7, and we had 10 plays of teams. I mean, it's about usually half of what we normally do. So not doing enough to really get too into the football or make any judgments off guys. We're just throwing a lot at Trey that he's hearing for the first time. We're throwing a lot at some of these other quarterbacks who've just gotten here for the first time. And you start at day one for the rest of the team, and it's always good for them to start at day one, and we build our way up.
Hi, Kyle. We saw Jalen Hurd out there briefly working off on the side at the end of practice. How's he progressing, and how's the receiving room shaping up for you right now with some of those guys back like Travis Benjamin?
Yeah, it's been great to have Jalen back. He came back right when phase 2 started, and he's done a good job in his ACL rehab. He should be ready to go by camp, so hopefully there's no setbacks and stuff like that. But right now he's just working out with Dustin on the side and making sure he continues to rehab and gets ready for his time, which will be training camp. And as far as the whole group, I've been really excited with the group. We just got to see him in person a week ago from yesterday. They came and worked hard on Monday. We got 4 days to really condition them, and I thought the wideouts really worked very hard last week, which allowed us to be somewhat prepared this week, and I think we'll turn it up a lot more with them the following week, because that's usually my biggest concern in OTAs are kind of the wideouts and the people who do most of the running with the soft tissue injuries. So I think they've been getting in real good shape. Looking forward to Debo and Ayuk taking a step forward, and all these guys that we brought here. With Sanu coming back, we had him for a little bit last year. With Travis coming back, I think they've added some stuff to the group.
I haven't had a chance to talk to you after the minicamp even. Trey Lance, everything that you saw when you drafted him, everything you saw.
Sorry, Tim. Will you say that again? I would miss you at the beginning.
They haven't talked to you even after the rookie minicamp. What have you thought about Lance just from the time you've been with him? And is he everything that you expected to see?
Yeah, I mean, as a person, definitely. I mean, the player, the ability that he has, you can see that on tape. You don't really come and look at it as, from a coaching standpoint, like each day, like, how'd he do today? Is he that good? Is he not? It's you want to get to know the guy. I got an idea of who I think the person is, and being with him these last 2 weeks, he's been everything that we hoped and more. I think he's a very smart kid. He's a very humble kid. I think he's a very natural leader. I think the guys have gravitated to him, and it's been fun to throw a lot at him. You do it for 2 days in rookie mini camp, and to watch him just take it all in. I mean, from how he calls a play in the huddle to how he takes a snap under center to how he stands in shotgun to how he does everything, it's new. We're asking him to do something different, and to just absorb all that in. And to still handle yourself the right way, to me that is impressive, and that's what I've expected from him, and haven't been disappointed in that. And that's why I'm thankful to get OTAs and stuff, because that's why OTAs, I try not to judge too much with anybody. You throw so much at people, and it's so how much can they soak in, and they go through a lot of highs and lows in those 9 practices, and then they get away for 40 days. They kind of get to figure out what they just went through, how to do it on their own, and then they come back to training camp, and you see what you really got.
Kyle, there have been reports, I guess, Weston Richburg was going to retire. Is that the case? And then also, could you just provide an update on D Ford, where he is, and could he be ready for, say, training camp, or is it later than that?
Yes, D Ford. Your questions are always so long. Again, I forgot your first one. What was the first one again? Did you hear it?
That was like 15 seconds.
I know, but I usually think they'd go together kind of, but they're totally opposite, so that's what made me forget. All right, D Ford's one. What was the first one?
Weston Richburg.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. Weston is going to retire. I don't know how that officially works, but that's the word that I've been told. And with D Ford's been here since February. He's been throughout this whole offseason, all the rehab, really made a lot of strides in this offseason together. Everyone knows the sensitivity of his injury with his back and stuff, but he's been putting a lot of work here, and we feel it's going the right direction. Last week we sent him home because he had been here so long to go back to his hometown, see his doctor, and I plan on him coming back here in the next couple of weeks, but don't expect to see him until training camp on the field.
Hey, Kyle. Trey Lance threw an interception in 7-on-7s in the past that was a little high, and then he had another pass that was almost picked that was a little high. I know it's not a concern in May, but when he does miss high, what do you see from him mechanically?
Nothing. I'm watching where the ball's going, and we don't judge a guy's mechanics every time he throws. That would drive a guy crazy. So we just try to coach him and get the ball to the right spot. Usually it has to do with where your feet are and your feet under you and throwing on time. So that's just stuff you want them to work through and get better at. But there's no secret to, hey, if you just do this, it won't be high. That's kind of, we'll let you write about that, but that's not how I coach them.
We'll do 2 more, guys.
Kyle, there was a lot of Julio Jones chatter yesterday, and the 49ers were connected to a possible trade for him. Are you guys still in the trade market after the big move you made in the draft? Do you have the desire, the capacity to do a trade like that? And is Julio Jones somebody that you're interested in?
Well, I'm not illegally allowed to talk about players on other teams, so I can't answer that exactly the way you want me to. Anyone I've coached in the past that I have relationships with, especially a great dude like Julio, obviously I have a ton of respect for. But yeah, we're always interested in improving our team. I mean, we'll never just say, hey, we're done. We can't improve our team. You always try to make that happen. But yeah, it makes it harder when you've already given up some stuff to make some moves and things like that. Everything's got to fit in, and it's got to make sense. But yeah, I would never say we're just done.
Kyle, what's it say to you? Just the overall attendance seems to be really high, and obviously some guys aren't participating in team drills. But just given all the talk with the PA and the thought that so many players would be boycotting OTAs, what's it mean to you to get such high attendance from your guys?
I was real happy. You hear a lot of that stuff, and but for our guys to show up like they did, my biggest concern was only getting a week with the guys because, I think this is my 18th OTA since we didn't have one last year. And I've never had OTAs without being around the guys for 5 weeks prior. So you got a very good idea where they're at. And, we've only been around these guys for 4 days until our first OTA. So that's what made me really nervous in terms of just putting these guys out there. And that's why we've had to take some reps away, and hopefully we'll get to normal OTAs next week. But, our guys came in, and we got guys who really enjoy football. And I know there's a lot of different opinions on all that stuff, but it's hard to get better at football if you don't practice it. It's hard to get better at any sport if you don't practice playing the game. There's lots of ways to improve yourself, but you really got to practice the sport to get better at it. And some guys need it more than others. That's why I get each guy's different, and I'll talk to each guy individually. I'll 90 about that if they want. But when you got to make a decision what's best for the team, I'm always going to make a decision to provide our guys with a safe place to play football so they can get better at football. And I'm just pumped that we did get a big turnout of guys because sometimes it's hard to provide that for players if you don't have 22 people out there. That's why it's hard to play other places. Our guys came in, they wanted to work, they wanted to see what our plan was, and I told them some of my concerns, which was mainly this first week with the soft tissues and stuff, and I think they agreed, and I think they like how the plan is that I've set up, and I take it day by day, though, and we'll see how it goes.
Last one.
Hey, Kyle, how is Jimmy Garoppolo's health? Looking like he was doing okay out there. It's been a while since we've seen him healthy running around in practice.
Yeah, Jimmy looks like you guys have always known him. He's been great here these 2 weeks. I hadn't seen him for these 2 weeks for a little bit also. And, you would never – his ankle seems totally healed. I haven't even asked him about it because it looks so good. So I'd be surprised if there's anything lingering from it. He's had a good 2 days of practice, and hopefully we'll give him a few more reps as we get going here and get everyone else in better shape.
Thanks, Kyle.
Good. All right, guys. Thanks.
everyone, we have George here for you.
Hey, guys. Wow. Hey, Cam, look at you smiling.
Hey, George, good to see you. How you doing?
I think it's a little warm outside for a vest, man.
It's candlestick-like winds here outside the stadium. We've already had 4 people flee because it's too cold during the cars.
That's why I'm wearing a tank top.
Yes. Well, welcome. Glad you're all warmed up. Okay, so obviously our main look today was to see how Jimmy was playing. We hadn't seen him practice in a long time, and we saw him next to Trey. So, your impressions? I'm pretty sure you were working mostly with Jimmy on the far field today.
Yeah, I was. What was your question, Cam?
I guess just how he's looking, and just it seems just as normal as it has the past few years with him in practice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it seems pretty normal. We have a crowded quarterback room this year. We got 5 of those guys, and they're all playing at a high level. It's fun to see those guys get reps, and Jimmy's slinging the ball. He's got his nice touch, throwing a firm pass, and it's just fun to see both the guys compete. And whether I've taken all my snaps with Jimmy, and whoever's out there, I'm just going to catch the ball from, and they just got to throw it to me sometimes.
Hey, George, obviously this part of the off-season program is voluntary, but you and along with a lot of other notable veterans are participating and participating in team drills specifically. Why is it important for you guys to participate in the OTAs, and what do you think you guys are going to gain from this process over these next few weeks?
Well, I'm pretty sure we have everybody but 2 guys here, and I think D Ford was here the entire offseason, so he's just taking some time at home, and Nick's still recovering, doing his rehab stuff. So the fact that we have our entire team here, other than those 2 guys, I think it's awesome. And what it says about this team is that we want to be here, we want to get better, we want to be able to bond as a team and take those steps forward. And I know there's no games on Sundays, but those 4 days of practice or 3 days of practice and a phase 2 day, you use those and you stack those days up, and you're gonna get better. And whether that's a young guy just learning the playbook and, hey, on this route, you need to push your depth a little bit more. You need to stem straight at them. Those coaching points that we didn't get to pick up last year because we only got a couple weeks of training camp. And so these weeks of OTAs are big for our entire team, and it's big for our coaches too because they can learn better ways to install plays for this fall camp. And they're just learning the best way to, coach guys really. And so the whole team's really taking a step forward. You have to call on someone else? Come on, Tess.
Hey, George.
Hi. Are you driving? That's dangerous.
No, I'm not. I'm just parked. Safety first. Although you haven't taken any reps with Trey, what's your general impression of him and how the quarterbacks are working together?
He looks a little bit better than a rookie quarterback. He's out there. He's slinging it. I was really excited yesterday. He made an awesome throw on a play action. He found my rookie Josh Peterson on a far corner is what we call it, on a rollout, which is the last guy you'd throw it to on the play. And the fact that he found him in his first ever rollout was pretty cool. Just seeing him out there and trying to figure it out. I just like watching guys compete, like I said. And if you can pick up this offense as a rookie and be able to analyze it and throw it to the right guy, and at the same time overcome coaching to make a play, it's impressive. And so I just can't wait to see what these next couple OTAs days give Trey and allow him to continue to move forward.
Hey, George, you've noted in the past that Jimmy isn't the world's greatest texter. And I just wonder, he went, his name was bandied about quite a bit this offseason, wasn't always good. I'm wondering whether you reached out to him, whether, you sort of caught, were affected by all the, mostly negative stuff that was being written about him, and whether you reached out and what your reaction, what his reactions were.
This was a great off season, for me and Jimmy. You talked about once a week, every other week. It was, just catch up, see how we're doing, recovery wise, what we're doing workout wise, when we're going to meet up on Xbox, those types of things. But no, good. Jimmy G's, he's himself. He's feeling good. I don't want to talk for him, but he looked great today. He's looked great every day that I've worked out with him so far. Like I said, he's slinging that baby, and he's still got a nice touch. And you never get past that chin line. So we're feeling good about it.
Hey, George, Fred Warner is now in, kind of the same position you were in last year.
Mhm.
And it seemed like maybe the discussions are kind of where they were before they heated up. Have you guys, I mean, I don't expect you to explain your conversations with them if you had them, but I don't know, generally speaking, have you given him advice as far as patience and don't be angry and, your time will come and all that?
Oh, I mean, I don't like to pry myself in other people's business. I told him that if he has any questions, I'm just across the locker room or just a text away. But he's being a professional about it. He's showing up. He's working his tail off, and he's the same Fred that he has been every single day that I've known him. He's first guy to break down the huddle. He's first guy on the field, and you love to see that. And I know that it was definitely it was a distraction last year to an extent. As much as you don't want it to be, but it is to an extent. But Fred's handling it well, and he's just showing up to play football. So I'm happy for that, and it is what it is, and the time will come when it all happens.
Hey, George, as I'm sure you went through, a lot of your rookie teammates when they first moved out here have shown some shock at the sticker cost of living here and things like that. I know you guys as veterans get asked to go in and speak to those guys about what your experience was like and going through that transition to the cost of living and all that. What is your advice to those guys? What do you say to them when you get those opportunities?
Get a roommate or two. My rookie year, I lived with JP Flynn and Trent Taylor and my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. So we just split that up. Try to live close. Don't be somewhere where there's a lot of distractions around. The one thing that's really nice about playing football in Santa Clara is, football is like the number one priority at all times. You have to go out of your way to find something to do or to find a way to get into trouble. So I think it's a great place to be able to go play football and just focus on it every single day. So for rookies, you've tried your entire life to get to this level. Just because you have a couple dollars in your pocket, there's no really reason to change what you've been doing. Like, just put the pedal to the metal and keep going.
Hey, George.
Hey, Grant.
How you doing?
Yeah, fabulous, man.
What's your impression of the tight end room right now? What's your impression of Dwelly, Warner, Helm, Peterson? Give us a rundown.
No, I think it was awesome this entire offseason. I had Dan Helm and Charlie Warner with me in Nashville, so we got to train. So I got to see them the entire offseason. And, besides the fact that Dan Helm looks like a G.I. Joe and Charlie Warner can bench press a house, they both come a long way since last year. I think they both look really good. Dwelly looks incredible. He's the same guy he always has been, a little bit faster, I think. Still got those sticky hands, I know he's your favorite tight end, but he's also my favorite tight end, so it is what it is. And, my guy Josh, he's a rookie. He's learning it out, but the fact that we get to split up on two fields allows him to get a lot more reps, which is nice to see. Watch his tape. He's definitely a natural athlete. I think we're a tight end room that we have the ability to be a really good room that you can rely on. From me to Dwelly, and Charlie's definitely taking a lot of steps forward, and it's going to be a fun competition this entire OTAs and all the training camp just to see what guys can do day in and day out.
Hey, George. Has it been a sense of relief? Hey, how's it going?
I'm excellent.
Well, good. Has it been a sense of relief to finally get out there to a bit of normalcy in a way that you obviously did not have last offseason and much of the last year?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just being able to see the guys, everyone in the same locker room. We got the window wall things up, but just have a little normalcy. It is nice, you're still sitting 6 feet away from each other, but just being able to be in the same room and actually have conversations with guys, it definitely, it brings a little bit of the fun back in football, without the games on Sunday. So just enjoying spending time with my teammates, and the fact that we have everyone here but two guys, like I said, it's very impressive, and the fact that everyone wants to be here and, get better together. Those days of just, hanging out and talking, whether, guys are playing cards, chess, whatever they're doing, but, guys are bonded, and I think that's a huge, it's really big for the team to be able to, spend time together and take that step forward, just, to be friends.
Hi, George.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Speaking of those off-season workouts with Charlie Warner and Daniel Helm, did you incorporate anything new? Was there a new focus for you this off-season? And I guess following up on our little back and forth the other day, have you bulked up a little bit through that offseason work.
Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I did some new things this offseason. Well, I got to create my own facility on my property in Nashville and got to put all the toys that I wanted to in there that I think best help, me and the guys around me to, take a step forward and, not stay the same or, go backwards. And, a big thing for me this offseason was just like foot health, ankle health. And so, that's the thing that's, just kind of lingered on me. And so, I got a lot of these balance beams from this company called Foot Collective, which, has been really fun just walking up and down these beams and kind of make my own obstacle course, I would say. And, doing whatever I can just to, be as healthy as I can be and as strong in those areas that have been my weakness and just focus on that, just because you can't do the same thing and expect different results. So just trying to add as many new different things that I feel like are, making positive influences in my life and on my body.
George, this is Kylan with Cron 4 News. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. Doing great. Thank you. You mentioned Nick Bosa not being able to be here. Have you talked to him at all just about how his recovery is going, how he's feeling, and just kind of his outlook what his outlook is like ahead of the season?
Yeah. Nick's actually a guy we basically talk almost every day. Nick's my guy. He actually lives above me in my apartment building. So when he is here, we hang out all the time. Humble brag. But no, Nick's doing great. He's out there running. I know you guys see the Instagram videos. He's rehabbing well, but he's happy. He's very happy where he is. In his recovery. Like I said, I see the videos. He looks great. He's been watching the film just the last couple of days of OTAs, and he says he's ready to come back out here and come after me in the tight ends. And I said cut blocks are live, so get ready for it. So just excited to see Nick Bosa back on the football field.
2 more, please.
2 more.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Laying the hammer down.
Yeah,
Hey, George. I want to go back to the draft. I was wondering what your reaction was to getting 2 running backs. I know you live to block. And then also Jed York's tweets.
Yeah, I like drafting 2 running backs. I'm a huge fan of Trey. Just watching him in the in the playoffs or Big Ten championship game. I think he was in that one, but just to see him, he's such an aggressive runner. He's a big body. He just likes to run through people, but he still has a finesse to his game, which is awesome to see. He's a fast guy that runs downhill, and I love that in this offense. Elijah's been great. Just seeing the routes and the reps that he's gotten running the rock. He looks really good too. So I'm excited about our running back room because that's a crowded room too, and when it's crowded, that breeds competition, which is what it's all about. And Mr. York, his tweets were I like that. I try to guide him a little bit. Try not to search your name too much on Twitter. That could that's a dark hole that you don't want to go down. But just have some fun with it. And I like to see him out there and enjoying himself. It's he should.
Hey, George, what does losing a receiver like Kendrick Bourne mean for your locker room? And how do you guys simulate that energy in production? And then my follow-up to that would be, is there anybody specifically that you're looking to see take a step forward?
I'm so happy for KB. He has earned every single cent that the Patriots paid him. I'm very happy for him. I'm sad to see him go. He's a glue guy. He keeps the upbeat, positive energy every single day. He's consistent every single day. So that's something that you're definitely going to miss. But that just kind of puts the pressure on the young guys and the guys who are left in the room to step up and also take on that role. And I'm not asking anyone to be KB, but we got to have guys that step up and bring that positive energy and that positive vibe every single day because. Day in and day out of football, it gets harder, as the time goes on. And it's really easy to bring that energy one day, 2 days, but you can get in day 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of camp and you're in the season, that's hard. So we'll have guys step up, and I'm not worried about that. We're a good wide receiver room, and I think we got guys that can step up for that energy. And as for the guys that I want to see step up, I think our entire room needs to step up, honestly. Everyone on the team needs to step up if we want to improve from where we were last year. But I know Debo wants to have a better year. I know Brandon wants to have a better year. I'm looking forward to seeing Richie and Juwan Jennings. Really looking forward to seeing Jalen Hurd back on that football field because I think he's very dangerous. Excited to see him get a ball in his hand again. But I'm just excited to see these boys work, and I can already tell just off of last week compared to this week, I feel like our wide receivers are already taking a big step forward, and they're out there catching the ball, running around a lot. So I'm just excited about this room, and I think there's a lot of potential there for them to be great.
Thank you, George.
Also, hey, let's go Preds, baby. Phil Forsberg, baby. Coming for you, Carolina.
All right, guys, we got Jimmy here for you.
What's going on, everyone?
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell me about what your mindset has been, since the phone call you received on that Friday, through the whole, the month leading up to the draft, the selection of Trey. What have you tried to really focus in on as you prepare for this season?
Yeah, I just focus on the same things I always have, really. I mean, it's the offseason is a time for me to grow, for our team to grow, and just you try to improve on the things that you didn't do so well the year before. So, I mean, this offseason I had a list of things that I wanted to improve on. First of all, get the body back right, healthy and everything, and that it's been going really well. Body feels great, and just there's some little things throughout the offense that we've been trying to work on, and I've been trying to critique myself as hard as I can, and, just fix the little things.
Jimmy, can you share with us a little more on what you've been doing basically the last 5 months to get your body in shape, where you've been doing it, and maybe anything specific what you've actually been working on?
Yeah, just well, I think getting the ankle right, doing mobility, things like that, trying to keep the muscles pliable and staying hydrated, all that stuff applies. But I think really it's just getting the fundamentals down and just playing within the offense. When I play within the offense, things are good and things go well, and I stay healthy. So that was a big part of the offseason.
Hi, Jimmy. Was the goal to add some muscle this offseason, and did you bulk up a bit?
I was trying to, yeah. Nothing crazy, but just trying to, like I said before, it was just another thing that I was trying to do this offseason, just stay healthy this year and just put myself in the best situation possible to be successful.
Jimmy, when we first talked to Kyle after the trade was made, he said he called you and that you were understandably pissed, that you weren't thrilled about it. Can you take us back to what your emotions were like? Was there ever a time where you considered asking for a trade or anything like that in the ensuing time after that?
Yeah, I mean, when it initially happened, there's a million emotions that go on throughout your head, and you think of all the possible scenarios and things like that. But at the end of the day, I want to play football. I want to go out there and win games. That's what I do. And so, it wasn't anything too crazy. It took a little while to get process everything. But once I did, it was just go out there and ball. You just got to attack it. NFL is a crazy business. Things happen, but you just got to attack it day by day and, make the best of it.
Jimmy, how would you describe the dynamic between you and Trey? And obviously the shoe was on the other foot when you were in New England. And is that a situation that you think about sometimes when you look forward and how you're going to approach this next year or two?
Yeah, me and Trey's real cool. We've had a great relationship so far. All the QBs. I mean, we've got a big QB room right now, so it's a good group of guys. Fun to be around, but it's kind of one of those things. I don't want to do anything out of the ordinary, do something that's not me. So I just I try to treat it just like I normally would with anyone else. So just go about my business, just be myself, and let the cards fall as they may, or chips fall as they may.
Jimmy, sorry, I don't want to beat this to death, but just spelling this out, they have drafted a guy they want to replace you probably sooner rather than later, given their investment. They've talked about, that they've looked into trading you. I assume, how could you not have hard feelings, and how do you reconcile that with, I'm still here, and maybe if I, play my very best, they won't be able to, do what they want to do.
Well, there's if you start thinking about all those things, especially as a quarterback, you're going to be in some trouble. I got enough things to worry about just with the offense and things like that, trying to improve things here and there. But, at the end of the day, we're here playing football. And so that's what I love to do. I love to go out there, be with the guys, win football games. That's what I do. And so it's one of those things that the situation is what it is. It's not changing. So you just try to make the best of it. And the way I do that, I attack each day and, just try to put my best foot forward.
Maybe a slightly awkward question given all the understandable previous questions, but what do you think of Trey? I mean, like, as a guy, as a quarterback, being around him, what's he been like, and what are your impressions of him?
Trey's been cool. He has. The whole QB room, I mean, it's a good group of guys. We're pretty deep this year. Brought Skangs back as the QB coach. Happy to see him again. So it's a great group we got in there. We're a tight group. Everyone's been competing so far. It's been a lot of fun.
Jimmy, Trey shared with everybody that you were one of the first people to reach out to him after he was drafted. Why was that important for you to do?
I mean, for a number of reasons. I think one, just when you get drafted, I went through the whole process of being there, and it's a unique experience and just a crazy night. You know, all the emotions. I mean, you've worked so hard to get to that point, and now you're there getting drafted. So I just wanted to, tell him congratulations. You know, you worked hard to get here and everything, and just start off on the right foot. I mean, it's not every day you get drafted to the NFL, so I hope you enjoyed it.
Hey, Jimmy, 2 questions. First, how's your ankle? Is it 100% healthy? And 2, I noticed you weren't wearing a knee brace. Are you done with that, or are you going to wear that during games?
Oh, jeez. I'm just kidding. Ankle feels great. That really hasn't been a bother since, I don't know, I can't remember when. But, yeah, the knee brace, though, that's just kind of one of those things going to come and go. I don't mean to keep throwing you guys off with that. But, yeah, that's about it.
Hey, Jimmy, how much of a relief is it to have some sort of sense of normalcy after not a normal off-season, not a normal season, to just be back out there with OTA?
Oh, it's been awesome. It really has. Just getting back into a rhythm with the guys, seeing everyone here. I was thrilled to see all the guys come back, and we've been putting in some good work. It's just different. I don't know. Last year with the whole quarantine and the whole everything that happened last year, it was a tough offseason, so it's nice to get back to a little bit of normalcy, like you said, and just be around the guys again.
Just wondering, with your experience in New England, are there things you'll take away from that experience and you bring this situation here that you liked what happened and maybe didn't like, so you don't repeat those mistakes, or you use that to kind of further the relationship with Trey?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to be honest, I haven't put that much thought into it. The relationship between me and Trey, I think it'll just happen naturally. It's not something that you want to force too much. You don't want to, I don't know, make it fake. It's just things will happen, and that stuff takes time. But I think it's one of those situations where you don't want to go out of your normalcy and do something that's not you. And so I just let things happen and, take it from there.
We'll do 2 more, please.
Jimmy, you've been critiqued quite a bit over the last few months, and the main critique always seems to be he has trouble staying healthy, which doesn't seem like something you always have control over. I'm just wondering how you react to that, and do you bristle when you hear that or read that? What's your reaction?
No, I don't know. Being in the NFL for as long as I have, you kind of get used to it, I guess you could say. Kind of comes with the job, but it's one of those things that keeps pushing you, though. When you hear those critiques and you hear those little things out there, it pushes you to take your game to the next level. It's we're all competitors out there. We all want to go put in the perfect game, and at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. So I'm gonna keep pushing myself.
I guess over these last couple months, have you heard from other quarterbacks that have kind of been in a similar situation as you, as coaches? I drafted coming in, maybe it's whether it's Brady or Drew Brees, Alex Smith, even Steve Young, what it was like for him. Has anybody reached out? Did you have advice from any other QBs?
I kind of missed half your question there, Cam, but
okay.
No one haven't really reached out to anyone, and it's kind of like I was saying before. I don't want to make it a weird relationship between me and Trey. I don't want to do something that's not me. I just want it to happen naturally, and it has been. I mean, Trey's a cool dude. We've hung out a couple times, and it's just it's one of those relationships that it'll come over time, and it just takes a little time.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All good. All right, thanks, guys.
guys. We're ready for Fred if you guys are ready.
Hey, Fred. First of all, congratulations on the engagement. Speaking of long-term relationships, Kyle Shanahan was just in there saying that he wants you as a 49er forever. Obviously, potential to get a contract done sooner than later. Now that you're in this offseason, is that something that you have thought more about? Is it important for you to try to get that done before training camp?
I mean, yeah, obviously I want to be a Niner for life too, right? You know, I know all that stuff will work itself out in due time, and I'm just focused on being the best player I can for this team. You know, that's why I'm here. I'm working with my guys, and we have, you know, huge aspirations and goals for this season. You know, I'm really excited about this season that we're gonna have.
Hey, Fred. I think that D'Amico has been your linebackers coach as soon as you came into the league, and so you've had a lot of opportunity to observe him and work with him. What's his demeanor like now that he's DC? Is he more vocal than he was? Is it the same guy? Was it sort of weird seeing him move to different parts of the field today and not just stick with the linebackers?
Yeah, no, it's been a little different. You know, me and Meek, we've gone through a lot together in a short time. When his first year as the true linebacker coach was my first year, just being here, you know, as a Niner, and so, you know, seeing him grow and progressing. Obviously, now being the defense coordinator, he's the exact same person that he was back when he was our linebacker coach, and he's just, you know, such a passionate player that it just carries straight over from when he was a player, right? Like just the passion and the enthusiasm. You know, such a smart mind, and he's able to really teach guys. You know, that's the biggest thing is that teaching aspect. And you know, I know we're gonna be firing this season. You know, I love his demeanor and the what he expects of us. And you know, yeah, like I said, I'm just really excited to get going.
Hey, Fred. Since you want another contract-related question, but did you? I mean, by being there and practicing, you know, you're technically, you know, in harm's way, and certainly as training camp comes, if you go to a training camp practice without a new contract, you know, you could get injured. I understand you can't like put yourself in bubble wrap, but did you have any hesitation about showing up for these practices? And, you know, if so, ultimately, why did you decide to come?
Yeah, well, I can get hurt walking across the street. You know, you can get hurt all types of ways. But it never crossed my mind to miss this OTA. You know, I know this is a big part of not only my growth, but you know, the team as a whole. You know, getting out here, working together, seeing things, playing ball. It just sets up that foundation that you want to then, you know, work into the season and be firing like you want to. So I never hesitated on that one.
Hey, Fred, you got a lot of guys who came back, a lot of new faces as well. What's your general impression of the energy of the group so far on the defense?
I think we've looked great. You know, we have a lot of young guys who are hungry, you know, trying to prove themselves still, you know, including myself. I think we have the right mindset right now, and I think the offense and defense just competing with one another. This is always such a fun time of year just to kind of get the helmet back on, and it feels a little bit like football season again, you know, starting up. So, you know, I like the team as a whole and just our demeanor going out there. So.
Brett, I know it's on the other side of the ball and we're still a ways away from getting to this point, but if and when there is a quarterback competition, things can tend to get, I don't know, maybe weird in the locker room. And maybe, how do you, as a team captain, how do you prevent that from being awkward or from the locker room splitting or anything like that?
I don't think it's be awkward at all. You know, everybody understands that it's you know, everybody's competing for a spot. There's competition. This is our job. We're professionals. We come to work. I think this is one of the most tight knit groups of you know, players amongst all teams in this league. So I'm not worried about that one bit.
Fred, you said you have things to prove still, and you're here for your own growth. You're a first-team All-Pro, the reigning one. what do you have to work on? What in your game have you gone through this offseason to see that you need to get better at?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess the cliche answer is everything, right? I think overall, I just want to be able to separate myself. I think being more of a game changer, being able to attack the football, working on my tackling, that can always be improved. Being in the box as a linebacker, I can always improve my tackling. Just really getting my feet in the ground and working on my bursts, in and out of breaks. Just little things like that. I feel like those details is what really matters now.
Fred, when you look back at last off season, how nice is it to be able to have some sense of normalcy this off season? And also, what does that do for team bonding, especially for the rookies?
Yeah, it's huge. It's starting to finally feel like we're getting back to some normalcy. It's very big for the young guys. Those rookies last season, like Brandon and Javon, those guys not being able to get the rookie minicamp and the OTAs, and kind of getting thrown into the fire that you don't get that base, that foundation that you need going into the season to set yourself up for success. Not to say that they didn't have successful seasons, but it's a process, and so I feel like the young guys this year being able to get that, it's a huge advantage and something that they got to take advantage of.
The last two for Fred.
Hi, Kylan Mills with Cron 4 News. How important is it that leaders on this team go out and kind of set the standard for the rookies, and how high are your expectations for this group this season?
Yeah, I probably have the highest expectations of anyone. Especially for myself and for this team. And like you said, it does fall on the leaders' shoulders to go out there and set the standard for defense, how we're running to the ball, how we're using our hands and our footwork and the little details that we go out there and the younger guys seeing that and knowing what the standard is. An offense can speak for them as well. But there's just a competitive nature that we built here, that no matter what time of year it is or when, the situation, when you step in between that white, it's on. So, I love like I said, I love the look in everybody's eye right now and just the hunger. You just got to keep stacking days.
Right, one of the sneaky good position battles on the team is that third linebacker spot, just between Demetrius Flanagan-Foles and Azeez Al-Shahir. How are you pushing those two and just helping them develop? And then just as a linebacker group in general, do you guys have any goals and what's your expectations for the group?
I mean, we're all competing. We're all pushing one another. It's not just me pushing some of the younger guys. They push me and everybody. I love that it's a group of guys who are young, who are still trying to. All of us are trying to prove ourselves day in and day out. Rent is due every day. You got to put in the work, and our goal and what we want to achieve is being the best in the world. That's what we've been talking about. We have it on our mind every single day. That we want to be the best at what we do, and to do that, you got to put the work in. And so that's why we're really focusing in on the small details and just really practicing hard every day.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you guys.